We got Cheat Code by Danger Mouse and Black Thought, 12 songs, 38 minutes long. I'll let Dan talk.
um, I have a hot take for the video title, and I'm gonna just repeat it here. This could be like modern Madvillainy, theoretically. I think that's a hot take. I actually would maybe consider that. I think Madvillainy is its own thing. I don't mean to compare it here, but you have Danger Mouse, who's one of the best producers, not just in rap, but in alternative music, having done some of the best alternative records of all time.
Yep.
Gorillaz Demon Days immediately comes to mind.
Yep.
You have Black Thought, who is just lyrically one of the most ahead people doing it in the game. His freestyles rack up so much respect, and he's very underground. He's definitely one of the backpack rappers for sure. Like, he's not getting name dropped with the Kanyes and the Drakes of the world, but when it comes to the game of rap, the sport of rap, Black Thought is really kind of unparalleled in that. Just how quality are you at writing those flows and things? You put them together, you add a couple of artists and features here, and you get, every summer we get like one of these. Oh, like here's another Danger Mouse classic I'm remembering. No, this isn't a Danger Mouse classic. I confused the two, but when Madlib and Freddie Gibbs made Bandana together, and that was like a summer sort of like classic of like rap songs that I was just bumping through the summer. This is that album for 2022, and I love it.
This is fantastic. It's just really, really good. It's just I actually like the modern Madvillainy comparison, because this is just a beautiful mix of old school sounds mixed with some new school sounds and some different types of production that makes it feel fresh. It makes it feel modern, but it still gets you that old feeling of like living back in the days, the late 90s, early aughts and all of that. And it plays through really well. The features, all of the features on here are great. The first two tracks sometimes, and then the title track of Cheat Codes, great. Love Cheat Codes. Love like the grungy-ish sound of the production on there, like the industrial drum sound and everything, but it's simple, and then it's just really, really nice that I love.
Danger Mouse is truly one of my favorite producers. There is, I'm gonna hold on some of my other favorite Danger Mouse projects for a little while later, but like his discography is just insane. You think about Gnarls Barkley, the project that he did with I'm forgetting his name, the fuck you guy, but CeeLo Green, that's right.
CeeLo Green, yeah.
Yeah. You have Ghetto Pop Life, which is like one of my favorite rap albums ever from like the late 90s, early 2000s. There's that Broken Bells album that they did. Karen O and Danger Mouse was a really early Audioface classic that we really loved. There is so...
I mean, he did stuff with the Black Keys, too. He did El Camino.
He produced Good, Bad, and the Queen. He produced for Adele. He produced for U2. He produced for Beck, Modern Guilt.
Like, to me, there's three producers that are 3 or 4 producers that are my favorite. It's Nigel Godrich, Kenny Beats, Danger Mouse. You could throw off a
Metro
couple other guys
Boomin.
in there. Metro Boomin. Like, those guys are just unbelievable of how broad they are. And
Unparalleled.
That's a mark of a good producer, is someone who can work with totally different fucking genres from out of left field and still make an amazing project. Like, example, you go from like Adele to you go to this record, you go to stuff with MF Doom, and then you got stuff with Gorillaz, you got stuff with the Black Keys, but they're all incredible award-winning albums.
Yeah,
and that stay the test of time.
They all have characteristic sounds, but at the same time, like maybe just me as a Danger Mouse head, like I feel it in my soul when something is like a Danger Mouse produced record. Like, it has like a sound, it has a structure to me because I grew up on a lot of Danger Mouse albums. Like, it feels very fundamental to me, like the way his tracks are produced. Like, it's almost mathematical in the way he has a logic, like a fingerprint of doing it. But to get back into this, it's also selling this album short, to say for sure, but that it's only old heads. So it's definitely like, I'd say maybe like some of the newer artists on here. You get ASAP Rocky or Joey Badass, but a lot of the features on here, Run the Jewels, Conway the Machine, Raekwon, these are characters that you would definitely expect to see on a project like this, where it's just like, rappers rap once again.
Yeah, I think. Yep, exactly.
We're dancing around it. We once again have to do this series of, oh look, a surprise Doom song, a surprise posthumous Doom song, and
Is it Imposter Doom or is this actual Doom? Genuine question. Did
which
they
one?
record this before he passed or not? If you know.
I don't know, but it feels like it, and because I heard this song, like I've played this album many times now. Actually, it was a lot of music this week for reasons we'll get to later, but I heard this. I felt like Doom's voice was the most like slowed down or like morphed in certain moments,
Mhm.
whereas like it felt like Conway the Machine. Sorry, it felt like Black Thought rapped over Danger Mouse's beat. It felt like Doom's like flow was. I felt like they probably had Doom's flow first. If I'm just speculating, they had Doom's recording. They had like a rough like song for it. Went through some changes. Black Thought got to rap over the final version because there's certain parts of the thing that certain parts of the rap that Doom does. Lyrically, it's top notch, it's MF Doom, whatever. And I like the track overall, but there's certain parts where it feels like slowed down artificially
Yeah.
that doesn't hit the thing. And you know about MF Doom, like he would meticulously like record things, even on remixes, so that if he could, like the voices wouldn't sound morphed. He recorded Gazillionaire for the Tom York remix because the Tom York remix is like 4 times faster than the original song. So he sent in new vocals for it because he's like, no, I don't like how I sound sped up. So that's why the fact that it sounds, I'll say it, a little bit imperfect, like makes me feel that it is, just one of those effects of having a posthumous artist thing. Because I've heard this all the time with posthumous artist records is you only have the vocal takes you have, so maybe it's not the best quality or like it doesn't match the studio quality of the other people on it, so it sounds a little bit off even in as much mastering work as you can do, or it just doesn't fit right on the beat because of some different edit that was made. There's a lot there, but I think this is just me being like a sound pervert, honestly. I think most people can listen to the track and be all right with it because it's it's a little bit short, but on a project like this, it feels, all right to have MF Doom, like posthumously appear on it. Boy, are we eating our words about posthumous releases. Kind of, because like I have qualms with it still, but I mean, even with an artist I like, I definitely have to say like it's nice to get like little surprise nuggets of Doom, like you alluded to earlier here.
Doom.
Hashtag the imposter is real.
The imposters are definitely real. Doom's still alive. Doom truth.
Doom truthers.
I want to get to the Strangers featuring A$AP Rocky. That I thought was really, really good, and it reminded me of Dirty Harry off of Demon Days. The second half of Dirty Harry, where it gets to the rap part, the production of it, everything, it sounded so similar to it. Where I listened to that track, I had a pause, and I was like, "This reminds me of Dirty Harry." I listened to Dirty Harry, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is like a lot, very, very similar, but in a good way to it." So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you're also bearing the lead there. Like, there's Run the Jewels on that, which
Yes.
makes sense because
yeah,
Run the Jewels as a collective has a lot of newer appeal, but Killer Mike and LP are old heads. Like they were releasing shit back in the early 2000s, so again, they fit very well within this record. You could argue like LP and Killer Mike's individual primes were in their 2000s, and then when they came together, they had like a second like Miracle Wave. Yeah,
and I mean, I love all of Run the Jewels records. We had Run the Jewels 4 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. And on this track, they're great.
All together, going back, it has that kind of Dirty Harry element, which again, a song produced by Danger Mouse. So it's unsurprising there. Exactly. But it all comes together really nicely. It's very energetic and fun. That, along with Aquamarine, a couple of songs earlier before that, are just some bangers. Like absolute tracks I'll be listening to very, very constantly for the rest of the summer and very on. Like this is one of those, like I said, much like Bandana was, this is one of those like summer backpacker classics that just is groovy and it's well produced, good enough to where I can, yeah, even though it's not mainstream shit, like I can play it around people and like they're like, oh no, this is good, I really like this, who is this, what's this going on? And then you put them onto Black Thought. Like that's great. Like the lyrics are amazing, but it's like also not like always super like woke, heady political stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, standard hip hop, like rap style music, so to speak. Definitely not a lick of trap snare. God bless. And overall, just a wonderful project. I've been pleasantly surprised with a lot of the rap we've been getting this year, especially. There's been
Me
definitely
too.
a mix of
Yeah.
trap that we've just been sort of like pushing off ourselves, like, we're not doing on the podcast, but there's a lot.
Like,
There's a lot that is really solid, and I'm really enjoying being able to do this in 2022.
I agreed.
Arbitrary scale. I think this has to be the freeway shootings that happened on the
Oh,
91 freeway.
not even fucking close, dude. This is definitely freeway shootings.
Every summer on the 91 freeway, we do arbitrary scales on Audioface because our review is our review, and if we compared it to like an actual ranking system or something, that'd be stupid. We're not Pitchfork or anything. So like, or certain other YouTube reviewers, shots fired. But we will. But which melon? But we will. The 91 freeway every summer becomes a shooting ground. Like it literally becomes the killing fields. You just never know. Just like it's gonna be a hot day on a Wednesday in rush hour, and pa. You in the ghetto.
You might. I forgot about that video. You might even get hit by a rogue firework too. It's happened to me.
Oh Christ, yes. It's real out here.